subscribe. Darling video, like and subscribe.
Let's get links in the building. Let's get links in the building, Mr. Links. Links in the building.
Yes, sir. I'm up. I'm up. What's going on? Look, I watched a couple of your movies, bro. Like, you are an incredible resource. Like, I watched a couple of your movies on Haiti and the crimes that were going on against those people, and just the brutality of slavery. Like people need to remember that shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I just want to say you're an incredible resource, bro. Like, an incredible resource.
I appreciate that, brother. Where you from, Links?
You ask me this question every time I come up. Like, I was born in Miami, moved to PNW, worked at Microsoft 14 years. I don't sound the proper way, but yes, I am FBA. My father's from the Bahamas. My mother's from New York.
Okay. What part of okay, because that's the thing, when your mother's from New York.
No, my mother is actually my mother's mother, New York. My mother's from Augusta, Georgia.
Oh,
she ate raisin bread back in the Depression.
Wait, your mother's from Augusta?
Yeah.
But but you said your mother's mother, which is your grandmother. You said she's from New York, right?
Yeah. My dad's dad died in a fire in Queens, New York.
Okay. So it might be some Caribbean on both sides, right?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely like I got some Bahamian, and but look, it's all slavery, right? Like, whatever.
So. But you're not technically FBA though. See, you got a Caribbean background, which is cool. That's okay, especially if you.
What you talking about? Bahamas is like right next door, bro.
That ain't the same. Oh no, that ain't the same. No, that ain't the same. You're Caribbean, and that's fine. That's not FBA. That's.
What you talking about, bro? Like,
just
like,
because
like the slave ship dropped us off.
No, we don't do that. We don't do the slave ship drop me off here and then it dropped me off there. The Bahamas have their own culture. Love them, and I've been to the Bahamas. Have you been to the Bahamas? Have you been to Nassau?
I have been to the Bahamas.
Yes.
Yes.
I love.
You like some conch?
Yeah.
You like some conch?
Do I do a what?
Conch.
No, I didn't eat that, but I like the people. They got the pigs running around in the beach and all that stuff. But yeah, you're Caribbean. And that's okay. That's okay.
I'm not Caribbean.
But you come from a Caribbean background.
I never look. I grew up in Miami.
But you come from a Caribbean background, brother. That's okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
right.
Sir.
You come. I know you don't like to claim it, but it's a non-FBA background, and that's.
What you talking about? My mother's from motherfucking, like, you know what I mean?
No, they're still Caribbean, brother. Your mother's side is Caribbean, and your dad's side.
No, my father's side is.
And your mother, and your mother too.
No, my mother's that's straight. That's straight FBA.
Bro. No, brother, because it's
Augusta, Georgia.
No, but you said your mother's from Augusta, but your grandmother from New York.
So New York ain't kind
of no, because it don't work. But people don't go to New York to Augusta. They didn't do that.
No. Look, bro. Like, people fled from slavery. Like, they fled from shit, and they end up. Look, I don't know how it works.
Yeah, because what you saying ain't clicking. It ain't making. Look, I know foundational Black American culture. I know how we move. I know how we operate. And when some of these migration stories don't really add up, yeah, that's usually Caribbean. There's some Caribbean non-FBA stuff going, because your origin story with your mom, that ain't adding up. It ain't adding up, brother.
Whoa, bro.
And it's okay. It's okay, brother. If you can make Bammy, some Bammy and some.
What the hell is Bammy, bro?
Some Jamaican Bammy and some conch. and some
I
yeah,
don't know. I don't even know how to do. I ain't no Haitian plates for that shit, bro.
and some plantains, and that's okay. That is okay,
Look,
brother.
look, look, look. It's good to talk to you, bro. I feel like I'm a celery. You know.
No, no, it's all good. But okay, my Caribbean brother, I respect your
Wow.
Caribbean lineage, and thank you so much. As a Caribbean, come on, this is what I'm talking about. People will try to play sleight of hand games. That's the Caribbean. That dude is Caribbean on both sides. Watch these sleight of hand games people try to play. He's trying to play. Well, it's right. The Bahamas basically U.S. is right next to each other. Is the slave ship dropped me off? Drop me out? No, 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 no. Oh no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We kind of the same. No, we come from different lineages. That's okay. We're not denigrating you, but don't tether on now. You're trying to tether. Kim, let's get Kim in here. Kim.
Hi, Tariq. I am just so tickled by the FBA lineage uh, narrative and just the validation. So, yeah, I'm a
Nope.
proud.
Yeah, say now. Why are you tickled by it?
Oh, because I'm straight FBA. I mean, I'm foundational all the way. I have no roots to any islands. It's all American. So
You almost sound like you have an English accent, man. It almost sounds like you have a British accent.
that's because my father grew up part of his life in England. My grandfather was in the Army Air Corps,
Mm-hmm.
and they returned back to the States in 1960, 64, 65. I can't remember the year. Um, Back to Oakland. So my roots are all California, obviously. Um, Parents born in the States, California.
Now, is your mother white?
Nope.
Where's your mother from?
Berkeley.
Okay, she's from Berkeley.
So, but my grandmother was from Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and my great grandparents on the maternal side were from Louisiana,
Okay.
Texas, Louisiana, and then on my father's side we have Kansas. I think I was mentioned this before. We ended up, maybe I didn't share this. Um, Kansas via Kentucky. We were one of the earlier um, Exeters, excuse me,
Yeah, yeah.
Exeters. And so my great grandfather left us land. We had 900 acres of farmland in Kansas
Oh wow.
after the Civil War. We just sold off the last of the, well, we left some acres, but we went down to 380 something. Sold off the last few hundred in 2021. But so anyway, on that side of the family, on my parents' side, my mother's side of the family, my grandfather's side of the family, I should say, we have South Carolina, Yamasee Indian, um, and New York.
Okay.
So that's all foundational. There's no islands anywhere. But I lived in New York off and on for 30 years. Came back to California in 2020. Was in New York uh, almost for, I would say, I left the Bay Area in 2010. Was in Europe for a couple years. I'm sorry, for 7 months. Traveled for a couple years, but for the most part, I was in New York, and now I'm back. So, but anyway, I just had to come up here and brag and say that I'm a real FBA.
I love it. I love that. That's beautiful, beautiful,
I knew
beautiful,
you would
sister.
like it.
And now, where you're in New York now? Where you now?
No, I'm in San Francisco.
Okay, you up in the Bay. Okay, cool, cool. Well, thank
Yeah, but
you.
I came out of the. So my parents were in the '60s in Oakland, which is where I was born,
Yes.
um, and I'm 56 next month.
Okay.
So when we talk about blacks, black culture, history, I can pretty much hang in any conversation.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed. Well, there you go,
especially
Miss
in the
Kim.
Bay Area.
Thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate you, Miss Kim, the lovely Miss Kim Coffee. But yeah, we asking questions now. We're asking a lot of questions here because look, let's be real, and this is why There's been a lot of back and forth on social media. See, a lot of people, they're upset with the movement of delineation. A lot of folks are so mad that we're asking questions about backgrounds now. We got to get into the real reason why people have a problem with our lineage. Because see what it does. People got a problem with it because it forces a reexamination of immigration as a class escape, not a shared struggle. See, many of these non-FBAs, they migrated to the US, um, not as oppressed people, but as economic escapees from a lot of failed and unstable nations. So our delineation exposes this. It makes it clear that y'all didn't go through the same generational suffering that we did, and that uh, us talking about delineating, see, that disrupts that whole false diaspora solidarity narrative that's been just one-sided. A lot of these non-FBAs for years, they've enjoyed the protections of a vague, we all African, we all Black umbrella. And now, foundational Black Americans, we're looking at receipts now. We're looking at specific lineage, specific contributions, specific struggle. We're checking paperwork now. And that undermines the little politically convenient idea that all melanated people in America come from the same experiences, because we don't. And because we don't come from the same experiences, we look at white supremacy different. And that's important. And us delineating and these people feeling threatened by that threatens the power of the foreign-born gatekeepers. A lot of the Boule class who are non-FBAs who get elevated, the Winston Sears, that tether lieutenant governor out there on the East Coast, people like that who get into certain positions, the Colin Powells, the Barack Obamas, the Kamala Harrises. See, these non-FBAs, they've strategically positioned themselves in media, politics, activism as the voices of Blackness, often speaking on behalf of us, and then we wonder why we ain't getting shit. That's why we're like, hey, wait a minute. Everybody sit your asses down. Now let's do a paperwork check. Because we got all these Black faces. We got the Congressional Black Caucus talking about all this Black this and they're Black and they got a caucus, but nothing is ever done specifically for Black people at all. In fact, they're even afraid to talk about Black issues, but they're running around here on immigration issues. And then when we start looking at the last names of those people in the Congressional Black Caucus and then looking in their backgrounds, half of them are tethers. That's a problem. So now we're cleaning that shit up. We're saying, hey, if you ain't really from our lineage, we don't really want you representing us like that because y'all have done a crappy job so far. Just look at the track record. Have they been doing a good job? Are we getting tangible benefits? Are immigrants getting it? Yeah, they are. We ain't. We got to be very real. Kojo, hop on in, Kojo.
Yes, Tariq. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, Kojo. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. So I'm not an FBA, clearly,
I can
but
hear. I can hear.
but I like the fact that you are creating your own clan because I think that's also very much needed. I know there are a lot of my people that are very opposed to it, but I just want to say, hey, we understand that you guys have a very unique experience in your Blackness, and that has to be respected.
Yes, sir.
I understand that we can all be separate people, but also be one people. And I understand that we can do this in love rather than in hate.
Right.
So yeah, this is just me coming to say, hey, my FBA brothers, guys, continue doing what you're doing, but let's unite in love when the time comes.
Yes, indeed.
This
Now,
is
where you from, Kojo?
I'm from Ghana.
Ghana. There you go, my brother. Man, I appreciate that, Kojo. Thank you so much.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, and shout out to Kojo, but a lot of people do have an issue with us delineating because what it does, it exposes a lot of these anti-black sentiments coming from these immigrant households. Let's be real, man. A lot of these folks, they've had these jealous ass parents who've always had a bug in their ass against us because they had to flee. So they thought they were going to try to take us down a notch within the household. They knew not to say that shit to us in person, and then indoctrinate their kids. And those are katas. You stay away from those niggas. Those are katas are lazy. You stay away from them. They're going to put you in a gang. They're going to put you on drugs. You got to work hard, not like those niggas. So you had your parents saying all types of weird shit. And we've exposed that stuff. Yeah. And also us delineating that cut off all of these people trying to latch on to the reparations thing. That's really what they got a problem with. And other tangible gains, because see, now that we're talking about lineage-based reparations, that's what they're really mad about. We're talking about lineage-based tangibles, not race-based. Because when we start doing race-based stuff, they're going to be the first ones in line, and we wonder why we don't get nothing. They done got everything because they have some of their people strategically placed in the institutions in which they distribute the resources. So they look out for themselves first. That's why we don't get nothing. You understand? Whenever there's some type of governmental program or some type of resources that's going to be allocated, look at the names of the people and listen to the accent of the people who's in charge of distribution of it, who gets to pick and choose who's going to get what. Yeah, they have accents and they're going to look out for their people first. In many cases, look out for their people exclusively. You see? And also, when we delineate, a lot of folks got a problem with it because that interrupts the use of foundational Black American culture being used as a springboard. See, many of these people, these non-FBAs, come over and they build whole brands, political platforms, online platforms, co-opting our culture, music, slang, fashion, activism, and then try to say what we ain't got, what culture we ain't got. I think the young brother Kai Cenat did that. And I like Kai Cenat. I don't have a problem with Kai Cenat, but if I remember, he kind of said something to the effect, I don't know the exact words, about us having a lack of culture to a certain degree, which is interesting because he's basically acts like a foundational Black American. Everything about him is us. I'm not saying that to denigrate the young buck, but little stuff like that, yeah, we're not doing that. People are not going to co-opt our culture and then flip it and tell us what culture we don't have. See, when we delineate, that just exposes that whole con game. You see, and us delineating that forces them to basically confront that internalized colonial mindset. See, a lot of these people, they come over with this colonial programming. See, though, the colonizers colonized their minds majorly over there. They really did a psychological job on them. So they come over here and they see some of us going against white supremacy. In their mind, no, no, no. You can't go against white supremacy. That's God. You're going against God. See, when you get psychologically defeated, that's how they can control you on your own land when you're in the millions and they're a very small group. They do that by psychologically controlling you and spiritually controlling you. They control your mind and your spirit. So they tell you subconsciously that white people are gods and they got to be protected. That's why a small handful of white people can go over there and them Negroes will start parting like the Red Sea. They, oh, don't, he's a white man. Let him through. Let him walk through. Oh, hello, white man. It's like Jesus showed up. So when they come over here, we're like, hey, man, we're about to go holler at these white supremacists. for locking our brother up. And leave the white man alone. Remember the other day, the dude called up. Remember where was he from? Nigeria or something? He called up, hey, why are you niggas mad at Kyle Rittenhouse? Kyle Rittenhouse was defending himself. You see? Remember? The dude called up a couple of days ago with that. Yeah, we're not going to build with that. Yeah, we're not going to build with these people who view the white supremacists as gods and they can do no wrong. Whereas us, we know how demonic the white supremacists are. We treat them like the evil beings they are, and we fight them with the strength of righteousness. Even though we're outgunned and out militarized, we still keep them on their toes because we have that Majara spirit. You see? It's like David and Goliath. It is a very spiritual energy that we have, a strong spiritual energy that we have. So us delineating, yeah, that rubs a lot of these folks the wrong way. That rubs them the wrong way because it reveals who benefits from the whole model minority strategy. See, the white supremacists, they use these non-FBA tethers as a buffer class. You know, there's white people who try to praise them. Oh, you look at Mbutu, you work so hard. You're not like Jaquan over there. You're not like him, buddy. They try to play that game. Oh, you're right, white daddy. I work hard. I am not like that, a lazy akata. So y'all just fall right into it. And now that we're like, okay, well, you go ahead and be with white daddy and we're not claiming you. Now that's a problem. You know why? Because the name of the game is for that tether to be used to infiltrate our ranks. See, that's their only value to the white supremacists. If you can't infiltrate our ranks, you're useless to them. That's why they want to latch on so much, because they realize if they're not allowed to come in our circles and infiltrate and then go back and tell white people what's going on, because that's what they do. They sit around us using our slang and then ear hustling, and then they run to white people talking about what's going on, what we got doing, what are we doing. That's what they do. That's what they're used for. Now that we're like, well, y'all ain't doing all that. We're not really having conversations like that with people who ain't from the lineage. So white daddy is looking at Ubuntu like, well, damn it, Ubuntu, you couldn't get any intel? They did a paperwork check on me. They would not let me into the meetings. They won't let me at the reparations rally. Well, damn it, Ubuntu. Well, we're going to have to let you go. Oh, no, don't do that, daddy. No, don't do, I work hard. See, that's the problem. You don't want to be irrelevant. They don't want to be irrelevant to the white supremacists. And they know their relevancy comes from them having a proximity to us. You see? So it's real interesting. It's a real interesting dynamic.
You, babe.